But first, we go to Washington and then the Middle East for the latest on the war with Iran. If you are struggling to follow what's happening, you are not alone. On Friday, President Trump was saying Iran had agreed to everything, including giving up its nuclear program forever. But by today, he had accused Iran of violating the ceasefire and warned that if a deal isn't reached, then lots of bombs start going off. And so here we are, about 48 hours from the deadline and seemingly as close to renewed fighting as we are to peace. Senior White House correspondent Ed O'Keefe has been trying to make sense of it along with the rest of us. Ed, good evening. What do you know?
Tony, good to see you. As week 8 of the war with Iran begins, there's still no clear end in sight, with the president and Iranian leaders trading threats and attacks all day over social media ahead of scheduled face-to-face talks. Vice President J.D. Vance is expected to fly as soon as tonight to Pakistan for round 2 of talks with Iranian negotiators, who are also expected to attend. Most urgently on the agenda, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, which remains under a U.S. naval blockade, and assurances Iran will never build a nuclear weapon. President Trump continues signaling support for diplomacy.
We have very good conversations going on. It's working out very well.
But he also continues making threats.
They're going to have no bridges. They're going to have no power plants.
Today, he warned it's highly unlikely he'll extend the ceasefire with Iran if a deal isn't reached by a Wednesday night deadline. But Iran's president warned his country will not bow to coercion. The impasse leaves congressional Democrats like Washington State's Adam Smith furious.
Trump doesn't know how to get out of this war that he started, and the costs keep going up. I'm also concerned a little bit that he keeps saying things that aren't true. He keeps telling us that the war is over and Iran has agreed to all of our demands, and we all know that's not true.
Here at home, the war is still causing pain at the pump.
Astronomical gas prices. It's insane right now.
The average cost of a gallon of regular is down 8 cents from a week ago, but it's still up more than $1 since the war began in late February. Energy Secretary Chris Wright says prices may not drop below $3 a gallon for several more months.
That could happen later this year. That might not happen till next year.
In an interview, the president disputed Wright's remarks, saying, "I think he's wrong on that. Totally wrong." The president is especially sensitive to the price of gas because it's a big voter concern ahead of November's midterm elections and a big reason why the president faces high disapproval for his handling of the war, Tony.
Ed, while we have you, some breaking news out of the Trump cabinet tonight. The labor secretary has resigned. What do you know on that front?
Yeah, that's right. Lori Chavez de Reamer was reportedly facing an internal investigation into allegations of widespread wrongdoing, and that appears to have led to today's resignation. The probe, according to the New York Times, focused on the misuse of government personnel, the use of department resources for personal trips, and an alleged affair between the secretary and a member of her security team. She is the third member of the Trump cabinet to step down this year. Tony?
Ed O'Keefe on top of it all from the White House. Ed, thank you very much. We're going to turn now to that new video showing U.S. Marines enforcing a naval blockade near the Strait of Hormuz, disabling and then boarding an Iranian cargo ship that was sailing toward an Iranian port. Senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata takes us through it tonight from Tel Aviv.
U.S. Central Command said the U.S. destroyer had repeatedly ordered the Iranian tanker Tosca to turn back in a standoff that lasted 6 hours.
Motor vessel Tosca, vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room. We're prepared to subject you to disabling fire.
Then, shots fired. After dark, U.S. Marines launched a helicopter assault, dropping down onto the deck of the stricken ship. Officials tell CBS News that Tosca is now in U.S. custody. It's the first vessel to be captured since U.S. forces imposed their own blockade south of the Strait of Hormuz. A mission carried out by the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit aboard the USS Tripoli amphibious ship. The Iranian military said it was, quote, ready for a decisive confrontation with the invading American forces and vowed revenge. This on the eve of peace talks, as U.S. forces remain on war footing. CBS News has learned the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier, already on a record-breaking deployment, is back in the Red Sea, while the USS Abraham Lincoln continues to operate in the Arabian Sea. And a third aircraft carrier, the George H.W. Bush, making its way to the region, where it will join 50,000 U.S. forces already deployed, with thousands more on the way. U.S. officials we spoke to tonight said that Marine team that boarded that ship, well, they're currently searching around 5,000 shipping containers. It's unclear what that ship was carrying, but it was on the way to Iran, and it was on the U.S. watch list.